you just don't see as much of it. You don't see as much.
Jimmy, that's you?
Ooh! Let's go! Y'all know my boy got the show out. Let's go!
Jimmy.
Bro, cut the vlog. Cut the vlog and get some
Travis.
Yeah.
He can even go the route that Sheduer got, the little sponge.
Yes. Let it grow back out, man. I'm telling you.
He got a sky top light. Come on, man. You don't let your hair grow out on the outside.
What, y'all? It's the twins. Back at it again. We late.
Relax, 2 billionaires are better than one.
Tell them what we doing today.
Today, y'all, we are back with another reaction. We're reacting to
our boys,
our little brothers, our little cousins, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Colorado Pro Day, y'all.
Yeah.
We are excited. You know we had to come back with the boys. But
we hope we don't get blocked, y'all. This is NFL.
Yeah. So with that being said, y'all, like, comment, subscribe to this video. Please share if you would like. And if this is the first time we coming across your screen, hit the notice so you can get it. And with that being said, let's get into the video.
Sheduer Sanders throwing for the first time
and forever
since that Alamo Bowl appearance for Colorado. Travis Hunter running routes for Sheduer for the first time in front of cameras since then.
Ooh, look at Travis. Good Travis. Ooh, Travis picked up about 10, 15.
Travis look big up top.
Travis look good.
These guys perform at the Combine or the Big 12 Pro
Day.
My
boy Jimmy.
We will see it today. Rhett Lewis, Bucky Brooks, Daniel Jeremiah, Brian Baldinger, Steve White's with us on the field. We'll get to them here shortly.
Man, Heisman, though.
That's crazy.
I feel like the whole aura of him being the Heisman hasn't really kicked in. Like, people, this man is like Heisman. We witnessed it, like, I don't know, is it me?
I mean, look, seeing Sheduer is going to be awesome, but the fact that we're going to see Travis Hunter catch some of these passes from Sheduer, something we weren't sure was going to happen, this is a pretty big deal.
I thought they ain't playing him man. This man needs to be too mellow.
Look at Sheduer looking cute. Come on, fresh line up and
he ain't got the brain.
Y'all see my boy Wester? He done picked up about 10.
Look good.
He done picked up about 10, 15. He look good.
He look like how he was at Florida
International.
Maybe go through the workout twice.
They look good.
And do all that other stuff.
And ooh, that's what's the name?
What he doing out there?
That's is that Hood? No, is that
I forgot his name.
That's the other Miller boy, the freshman number 6.
What he doing out there? He could be out there.
Yeah, he can be like the wide receivers for sure.
Fantastic.
That boy big. He stepped up too real good last year.
Elite prospect. Go through the drills.
Because I was going to say, Jimmy Hunter braided his hair.
My first takeaway, guys, watching this is Travis Hunter and Sheduer look like they both put on good
weight. Travis gonna cut them locks. Ooh, we got line up.
That was the topic of conversation with Sheduer in the spring, weighing under 200 pounds. Man, he's thick. You can see his lower body buck. He's got a nice front base. He looks like he's thicker through the chest and the shoulders. And Travis Hunter, he looks like he's carrying some good extra weight as well. So that's a good sign. It's a really good sign. You know, in talking to Coach Prime at Big 12 Pro Day, one of the things that he talked about with Travis is just, look, he doesn't have many hobbies outside of playing ball and fishing. This is what he does. And so to see him really change his body over the 2-3 months he disappeared, to that his work ethic is exactly what we wanted to be.
Well, for Travis Hunter, that line's not going to sit in the water very long when we get to Green Bay on Thursday night, April 24th, right here on NFL Network. His name will be called early and often. Not often at once, so we call it once, but it will be called early. As for Sheduer Sanders, I think that, you know, if it's not one of the first 3 picks, that sort of becomes the question of the draft. Brian Baldinger with us now from Boulder, watching this warm-up here as we get set to see Sheduer's throwing script, which includes Travis Hunter on a number of routes here. Baldy, set the scene for us.
Well, the entire league is here. I just got done talking to Jimmy Haslam of the Cleveland Browns, Kevin Stefanski from the Rounds.
What you got hating on Sheduer, man. They be hating, man. Show what you got, boy.
And so here's Cleveland.
Shut these haters up, man.
Watching both Sheduer and Travis Hunter, and equally
he done picked up some weight up
in their skill sets. And
he got that strength and conditioning coach
when you meet him.
With them locks,
he's bigger and thicker than you think physically. He's put together pretty good. And then Travis Hunter has just an incredible confidence about himself. It doesn't matter what you're talking about. He loves
Jimmy. There you go.
His play over the last 3 years at Jackson State and in Colorado, any ball that's in the air, it's his ball. Like, I don't know if there's a more aggressive guy.
Well, what team he bought up?
I don't know, but he look like
to see a lot of that here
girl,
today.
shout out to Coach Prime. Coach Prime got these men wearing Prime around their neck. Wow.
Sheduer's coach, it's the same coach that's coaching Cam Ward. They working off a script here today. We'll know the script, all the routes. We know all the receivers.
This is legendary, bro. Look at this man, daddy.
And intent.
He's like the best, one of the best quarterback coaches right now. Shout out to him.
Get ready to start this throwing session, but there is a real palpable buzz.
Y'all gotta take
y'all can watch this with us.
Getting ready for the show.
Yeah, no question. We're also going to see Jimmy Horn. We'll see Will Shepard and LeJontay Wester, all the receivers for Colorado and for Sheduer Sanders these last couple of seasons. So in addition to Travis Hunter, we'll have a nice quartet of wideouts.
All you need is
and here we go. We're getting things started here. By the way, from what we understand, that's the first time that Deion Sanders had met Jimmy Haslam. And we're seeing them kind of interact there. So the Browns contingent out to watch this kind of talent on display here in Boulder, and you know,
I'm looking forward to them Miller boys. This year, the Miller boys
with Cam Ward. And look, we're talking about these two guys as the top quarterbacks.
What are y'all thoughts so far? Comment down below.
You know, the top quarterback. Bucky's got Sheduer up there. DJ, you've got Cam up there. I'll start with you, DJ.
I'm pretty sure this is just Sheduer. This is Sheduer showcase.
Sheduer and Travis Hunter.
Yeah, but
what
I want to see Shiloh run.
That's on Will.
What are the biggest differences that kind of stand out between the two?
The way I kind of lean towards Cam is just because I think he's got a little more in his body. He's got a little more twitch. He's got a little more life in the ball. He's got a little more life in his legs. I just think he's just a more talented thrower of the football. Now, being a great thrower doesn't make you a great quarterback.
You're going to see the routes and stuff.
Playing, when his ability to play on time, when he is playing on time, he can be efficient and can be successful in his brand of football.
Let's make no mistake. I mean, like, the mile high mystique is exactly been college football here these last 2 years, and now we're going to see that.
These boys look good.
The last 2 years, I was
only person that don't look like they picked up some weight.
They got the whole league watch. When I tell you, let me say this. Shout out to Deion and Coach Prime. He put these boys in position. They got the whole NFL watching them. I don't care. This is their time. This is their own. This is their opportunity.
Yep.
No matter how well you did or how bad you did in the season, this is your time to show these NFL teams. Listen,
that you got something that they can
Ain't
have.
Nobody
And not only that, this is an example. Like for this prime situation, the Colorado situation is a prime example to look on as far as like trust whoever, like have trust. Like these boys came because they just felt like they could trust Deion and what he had going on. Deion left their school.
Yes, and Deion saw this. He saw this for he foreseen this for his sons when he left Jackson State and he left a mark on Jackson State.
Yep.
It's just
Dirk kind of made the move to go to an HBCU, took his son and Travis Hunter with him, and to watch the 2-year period. And then watch them
there go my boy. Stanley Craig.
And play at Colorado. There are a lot of things alike, and the same things that we utter about Cam Ward, being able to see how he handled every adjustment.
Look at my boy, Bucky right there in the nose. Who that jerk?
Well, one thing I know, that's can be a challenge for guys making the leap from the college level to the NFL level, depending on where you played your college ball. Most guys are playing in more of a smaller college town. There's not as much attention on that. You go into a big market, it can be a little bit of a jolt. Look at the number of cameras around him. He got that prime effect on like that for him since he was in high school. He's always had the attention. He's always had the focus and the eyes on him, which comes with a lot of pressure. That's going to be old hat for him.
Well, and in the words of Deion Sanders, like, I don't feel pressure, I apply pressure, right? And it's certainly ready for the red light moment. You see that in his tape, like in some of those big time moments, he has played big time football.
Yeah, look, I think it's really important. I wrote in a scouting report that I did on NFL.com about Sheduer. I don't know if there's ever been someone that's more ready to be a franchise quarterback than him. Just dealing with expectations and pressure that comes along with being Coach Prime's son, a Hall of Famer. There was
out on these pro days, he'll be okay.
Yeah.
One thing to look for in talking to Sheduer, he was not concerned, but he spent a lot of time preparing for throwing a different ball. The college ball and the pro ball, he talked about just the different feel.
Sure.
It'll be interesting to see if it has any impact on the way that he throws the ball all over the yard today.
He's enjoying it too. You can see him smiling here.
Y'all made some handsome boys now. They ain't ugly now.
Pure motion too. Like it is a very smooth motion when he throws the ball.
Let's
They're
go,
going to start
Wester.
out with a lot of underneath stuff, just kind of getting the flow and kind of ease their way into this workout. But
You
again,
seen
want
Cam
to
Ward?
start
I like
seeing a
Cam
little bit
Ward's
of
on too.
pace
His
to
is
this
good.
with a full
He got
cadence.
the same quarterback coach. Ain't quiet in there.
One thing that stands out already.
Jimmy.
Hey,
Like
how
just
you
comparing
boy?
the two, Cam Ward and him.
Hands
His
up.
ball is a little
Real
We don't
world.
witness
Yeah,
these boys, man.
Cam Ward's
Like,
ball came out at the Miami Pro Day. It was tight, spinning, velocity's a little different. Just has a little wobble, little tail to it.
And we're going to work our way up. What was the number?
Dang, what Omarion?
60-something
I mean,
throws?
it was
Well,
initially
Ryan
going to be
probably still
sub 60,
recovering
but then
from
once
this,
you know Travis Hunter joined the fray, he
I don't know,
got
they
up
never-
over 60
they
throws.
never
So it's a
say,
good
but
30
I feel
plus
like
minutes
it is.
worth of throws here for Sheduer Sanders. There's that smile.
You got them braids. They
Maybe
take the
just
braids
talk
out.
to him.
look, you know you can't wear them braids in the NFL. NFL
Take
showing
them braids
all
out.
these teams take them braids out. We need you to get back to it at. I already know. You can wear them braids.
Pro Day, which we had here on NFL Network as well, and again,
You look like he got a little trim.
every
That
interaction,
man,
you
yeah,
feel like
that man,
the moment is never too big,
when he's all that.
and
He look good
these
at
are
it.
those types of moments that he can certainly thrive in.
You got a ball, girl. Okay, girl.
I mean, it's a small thing, but I do like the fact that he's projecting himself. You can hear his cadence through our microphones pretty clearly.
Yeah.
Okay, Sheduer.
There's power.
Y'all, we just want to come on here and do what we have to
There's
do.
no application.
Yeah.
Entrance exam.
Watch our boys right quick. Ball of Jonathan.
Look at a Pro Day setting.
I know that ball
Hit the
be
ground.
hard. I think that's the
Runs
bullet.
over. This is what we should be. You know, these are the types of things that you want to see from a Pro Day. Clean, crisp.
There's good feet. You know, again,
I need Sheduer to take all of oregano. And when I say ASAP, because the ball and then him doing that, touching all the ball, every hand untouched it.
He be doing that. It's something you can tell he's something that he can't. He done became.
I mean, that's what quarterbacks do, but y'all gotta keep that so plain.
I want to see the feet be a little bit firm, be a little crisp in your footwork. So far, so
Have
good
you played
there.
before?
And then we're
Right.
gonna chance to see him.
Right.
I just want to see him get outside the numbers a little bit and let's drive the football.
Well, I mean, I think
What's
that's
the
the
name?
thing
What's
because a
Luke
lot of the
for the little bit?
comparisons between him and QB1, Cam Ward, is going to be about the arm talent and the arm strength. What he
That man
Man,
got the
everybody
top
need
two
daddy out there.
quarterbacks going to the league. Their quarterback coach, girl. What are the freaking odds? That man
And
is
he
the man.
going on. There's a great. That was
No, he getting
that
called.
was a 707 route.
Yeah.
I've seen that on YouTube before.
Yeah, and that's the other thing with this with Travis Hunter. I mean, his ball skills, whether he's playing offense or defense, just incredible.
Which, by the way, it does.
See,
feel
when
like
I was saying
he
that
wants to
Travis
play
looked good, right? When
offense.
that had
Given
out his
the
face,
choice
he
between
was
the two.
amazed.
You think?
Yeah.
I'm gonna run routes. He didn't say anything about
I don't know
it.
if he's doing
He
anything
beat
drills.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Somebody showed him. Somebody got to him and showed him the numbers there.
The slot receiver Jimmy Horn,
Let's look at these franchise numbers
LeJohn
real quick for
Wait, what
corners
did
and
Jamar Chase
receivers.
just
Yeah. Now, it's funny. Coach Prime said privately, he said that if you gave Travis Hunter the choice to go to either of the rooms, he is going to make his way to the wide receiver room. I think that has really kind of played out, particularly the day that he elected to run routes as opposed to doing anything else.
Is Travis Hunter's got no gloves on too? But
No, I didn't see that either.
I mean, that's old school. That's Red Lewis type of
Let's
program.
go.
Like, I got to feel the ball.
Okay.
Stick.
like to me, I know at a lot of these pro days you'll see where they're going to show off a lot of the movement. Let's get rolling right, rolling left, squaring your
Oh
shoulders.
snap! I see a little back movement.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
In my
like,
opinion, let's just take a
Going
front
to the
five,
NFL, my
front
boy.
seven, let's get the ball out.
Ooh, he got the spit on
I
it.
don't believe in your pro day, man. Play to your strength.
okay.
You see
So there's no
Jimmy?
need for him to go out there and act all crazy and get willy-nilly outside the pocket. The strength of his game is playing inside the pocket. He
Okay,
needs to
y'all,
show
we just
people and
skimming
impress people
through.
in that
Yeah, I was just
regard.
skimming through.
Good throw. Pretty good right there. There you go.
Baldy, what's
Are
the
they
difference
clapping
having
now?
been on the field with Cams of just life on the football?
Yeah, there's a difference.
Maybe between 5'10"
It's,
and
it's not quite as
6
tight
feet.
as Cam's, and it doesn't come out quite as hot. I would say, and
They got them
I
lined
thought Cam was just pinpoint outside of a couple throws that got away from him.
gonna be on
During that,
TV,
so there's a
man.
little bit of a
Like,
difference.
no.
But I would say that the command, that Sheduer has out here
Yeah,
is just
yeah,
the same as
brought
Cam's.
the dog
How
on.
he's running the show right now. He's basically telling his coach what he wants, how he wants it. And I'm telling you, you can almost hear a pin drop in here. I mean, everybody's eyes are on basically Sheduer and Travis every time he's up. I mean, it's a different feel watching this here right now. I mean, even the clapping after the completions feels a little bit different.
I'm saying it's just a different. Y'all can't hate on Deion the way he brings.
Brian down there
Got
at
these
the
kids
12-yard
out
line,
here.
center field, just watching this thing unfold.
By the way,
The end zone view.
it just hit me. If the Colorado coaching staff is all represented at this pro day, it's got to be the most Hall of Famers ever at a pro day.
Ever. Warren Sapp, Marshall Falk. I mean, Deion Sanders. It goes.
Brian Leftwich is
It's
on
a
up
pretty
there too, but he's not
high-powered coaching staff. That's
Here we
for
go.
sure.
Here's the
When it
deep
comes
ball.
to NFL talent. Over route here.
Come on, Jimmy. Ooh, straight hands. What none of this?
And the guys, the two deep balls he's thrown now are the two best balls that have come out of his hands. I think the deeper it
And them
goes,
boys going to the
tighter
NFL.
his release right now.
I still feel like we know them, bro.
You think there are some similarities? Look, they're different players, totally different type of athletes, but in the way that Caleb Williams felt a lot of times that he had to get out there and extend and try to make up
It's
for
crazy, 'cause I
The
think
chemistry
about the whole-
between them two, as far as like they started from the bottom, like
Yeah,
so.
he said started from a DM. He DM that man was like, let's make his like go to HBCU, and he did. Look what got him a Heisman Trophy. Like you finna
He trusted the process, like he
Yes,
just trusted the
yes.
process. That man could have, man.
He could have
man.
went to Jackson State and would have been like, man, after this year, I'm gonna hop in the transfer portal. Let me go on and see about what these other teams got going on. He stayed down.
But he probably, and then not only that, he probably loved the love that he got from
Deion,
Deion. Like,
yes.
your coach love you.
Mm-hmm.
deficiencies along the
Yeah,
offensive
a lot
line. Do you think
really.
that, Bucky, that's maybe part of what we see sometimes with Sheduer when, he's maybe exiting the pocket when he doesn't necessarily have to because it does happen so often with the pressure?
I think there's some of it, but I also believe he's a big game chaser.
Yeah.
I mean, a big play hunter. He is looking for the big play, and sometimes at quarterback.
I seen
you need to take
a
the
title of a
chance,
video
take
talking
on
about
these
some
stuff, and
Sheduer.
the big play naturally happens.
Shout out his
I
brother.
caught
Shout out to
him
being the only one clapping after every.
Yeah.
That's something Shiloh seemed like he would do. He's just opposite.
Instead of taking the check down, that's ready and available for him right up underneath.
Who catching
Down
that?
the left side.
Let's
right
go,
here.
West Coast.
Easy money. And look, I think we saw at times.
They had put up the legendary catch in the rain.
Yeah.
Man, Wester, bro, he went down in history for that.
That
Tough
Baylor
to
game was
discard from your
awesome.
gate, right?
That was Baylor.
In Caleb's case, Caleb had always been fast enough
I said
and
that ball-
athletic
that
to
ball
get
was
away
fat
from
and
everybody.
heavy.
I think Sheduer, in some ways, starting at Jackson State, maybe some of the stuff he got away with there, he learned during his time at Colorado. Can't do that as I go up a little bit higher in competition. And
You gotta
Caleb's
do all that
Caleb's
ball in the air.
got more twitch
And then you got
on a different level. So,
But just in terms of like situational, right, and the way that he was dealing with things that were happening in front of him. And the other thing that Sheduer Sanders might be top of class in, we talk toughness. Again,
you can't question that. We can have debates. We can have debates and compare quarterbacks, and you can talk about maybe this is at this level or that. There's no debate on this kid's toughness. He takes shots beyond.
His accuracy,
He took a
though.
shot down the field right
Remember
there.
that? Remember that?
again, right
It was
on
one
money.
game that just I forgot what game, but baby, I said I'm sold. This man was throwing them balls in that game. I was
I
like, oh
remember,
my
yeah.
gosh.
The deep balls have looked good thus far for
Man, the
Sheduer
Red Hawks
Sanders.
back there.
And again, you talk about making
dang.
plays in games where your team needs you to be big, right?
Yeah,
To raise the level of play of the guys around you. Again, you go back to that Baylor game, scrambling out to his left on that Hail Mary,
Rest of the side.
ends up getting completed. They go ahead and win that game against Baylor in overtime. You talk about the 17-play, 80-yard, 8-minute
What can
drive
y'all say
against
about
North Dakota
this
State in the
man?
opener. That really could have changed the tenor of the season if you come up on the wrong side of that one. That throw and that catch by Travis Hunter, by the way, was incredible in the end zone. Contested catch.
I think he's at his best playing on time and being a point guard.
That's what he needs to
Bro,
do.
cut the block.
Cut the block and get
Travis.
Yeah.
He can even go the route that Sheduer got, the little sponge.
Yes. Let it grow back out, man. I'm telling
He
you.
got a sky top light. Come on, man.
He
You
got-
don't let your hair
You
grow
talk
out on the
about some of the
outside.
stuff where he's trying to create scramble. That's not him. That's not what he does well. I don't think he's going to be able to do that at the next level. I
Right.
think he's going to be at his best
The connection with Cleveland was always interesting to me just because of the Pat Shurmur, Kevin Stefanski connection. Kevin Stefanski being the quarterback coach in Minnesota when Pat Shurmur was the offensive coordinator. But in a perfect world, if we didn't have to worry about draft position, I would love to see Sheduer Sanders in LA working with Sean McVay. I think that style of offense, the way that they go about setting it up, works. And also, there's a loose comparison that I have with Sheduer Sanders and Jared Goff in terms of style of play and how they have to derive their success. To me, Sean McVay would be the perfect coach for Sheduer Sanders, even though we're talking about being picked in the 20s. If we're talking about perfect fit, scheme matches his game, that would be LA.
And I like the fact that he's indoors right now. So when I look at him as someone who I don't think is going to overpower the football, sometimes you got to look at where you're going to be playing your games, and you start looking at teams in Las Vegas and teams in New Orleans picking 6 and 9, and you can say, okay, I can see that being a nice fit for him.
Technically, the Browns are likely to have an indoor stadium eventually. That's right.
But I think that's important. And also, let's talk about Tennessee.
So basically, Tennessee, Cam going to Tennessee, I already know. New York, they just signed Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston. Pittsburgh got I don't know who Pittsburgh.
Girl, what if Sheduer go to New Orleans? Black and gold. They gonna say. You think he's going to Cleveland?
Quarterbacks that play in the AFC.
I won't be shocked.
I think he's going to Cleveland because what's the name just re-signed and he asked for a trade. Myles Garrett.
Yeah, he
stayed. Yeah, I think he was asking for him to be traded. He stayed. He ended up re-signing, and it was like they had asked him.
Going over there.
It was like they asked him why he re-signed. He was like, I just feel like we can win here. Like, what you heard?
What you heard?
Like,
unless
y'all, Deshaun Stevenson over there still. I mean, Deshaun Watson.
That's crazy.
He's a little bit bigger. He's a little better athlete.
Oh my God, for real. You're gonna really go.
I gotta just be told none of these guys have to go eat progressions. They just don't.
But in terms of projecting,
that's something you say, man, playing with Kobe, that's crazy, right? And then they go over there, like, what's your time? If you know, you know.
We saw with Burrow, right? That you knew that was going to
Burrow, you know why? Because they went empty, and you can see him go 1, 2, 3, boom, and it was gone. Like that was his. That was his deep.
LeJohntay, that wasn't his fault. That was kind of wobbly ball.
Well, no, he almost, girl, that was gonna be a face plant.
It was gone. Like that was his. That was his deep.
Oh, it did go through his hands though. My bad.
Probably should have been caught.
He just ate grease.
And we noted that. I think to me, Burrow and I would say Tua, probably two of the best processors that we've seen over the last decade. Okay, you can see
Travis different,
to it in terms of the offense. You can see 1, 2, 3 gone.
No,
most of these guys, it's a lot of predetermined stuff. It's winners, as you like to call them, where the offense coordinator's drawing it up and you know where you're going. You just don't see as much of it.
You don't see as much.
Jimmy, that's you?
Ooh! Let's go!
Y'all know my boy got the show out. Let's go, Jimmy.
Is that Jimmy?
He had to let that out.
You don't see as much of it. And honestly,
that's the best story right there.
Listen though, he just made Sheduer look good because that
was kind of overthrown, but he died like Rick shot there.
You know, it's funny. So going back to the point that I was talking about with Sean McVay and that offense and that type of offense, where you talk about scripting the winners.
Who are these? Oh, that's
his style of play.
That's Steve.
Works well when you have the power of the pen, meaning you have a great play designer that can create things, he can see it.
What's it called? Oh, not him.
Off-script plays. It's going to be really important that the team that he lands with, man, the offensive coordinator has to be a wizard when it comes to drawing up the X's and O's.
Replay for me.
Replay here for you. That one nearly tickled the rafters.
Yeah, he does. He puts a lot of air under it, but it allows you to run through it.
Baldy, what do you got for us?
Straight back foot like that.
Well, I was just going back to the offensive philosophy that you guys were talking about. Talking to Pat Shurmur, basically he installed Chip Kelly's offense when he came out of Oregon and the things he did in Philadelphia when he first came. And so He's got inside receivers outside.
That's need a fishing logo, like track, like with a ride
a lot
or
of protection breakdowns. They didn't have 21 personnel. They didn't have play action passes. It was, teams were blitz zeroing him, where they were sending free hitters at him, and he just had to get the ball out of his hands.
Trips, maybe you want to tease some of the things that you're working on that may be perceived as a weakness, and then during that private session, that's when you go out because you're not exposed.
But shout out to the transfer portal that allow players like
that would be
that do
Well,
good
and
in the
again,
HBCU,
like this is a little bit different
and they be like,
than what we're talking about with Cam Ward.
When you say stuff like that, like, because how long the transfer portal been,
some years now.
Okay, so just imagine the ones that was so good and then they had to stay at a losing team.
Yeah.
Draft situation, right? I mean, like we're talking about Cam Ward as the likely #1 pick, but if we're also talking about the Browns and Giants, maybe deciding maybe quarterback isn't for us at 2 or 3 at this point. Maybe you are trying to do a little bit more than play the hits for Sheduer, if you're Sheduer Sanders, to impress upon like, hey, this is what you might be missing out on.
Well,
I love Jimmy here. It's like
that's kind of like
I know it's all.
thing sometimes. And
Sure.
I go all the way back to Teddy Bridgewater. And I feel like sometimes pro day is like we should be going to
they line up.
like we're just trying to hit it down the fairway, nothing crazy. Don't want to stretch ourselves too much.
Yeah, but not me at the driving range.
They spraying
Come out of my shoes at the driving range. That's the throw. That was a nice throw. That to me is that's an example of what I want to see more of.
No question. And I felt like I just saw one of those this morning in that K-State game. Hit Omari Miller on a perfect strike right there on a deep dig.
And I feel like you talked about the deep ball. I feel like he is at his best on in-breaking throws.
Yeah.
Things inside the numbers coming across in the middle of the field, his timing, his anticipation of the windows, all of that really shines, especially.
See, we be saying stuff because in the beginning we was like, it was like Sheduer sticker at the bottom, like we be going like you can tell by the legs.
Can you drive those whole shots and let's throw some deep comebacks or deep outs?
Well, and look, and that was a question if you're watching that BYU game I was talking about in the Alamo Bowl. He's got one, where it just kind of floats a little bit. Where if it drives, right, that receiver's catching it. Instead, it's the safety comes over, makes a big hit.
That's the Cam Ward. Yeah. That's where Cam Ward gets the edge.
Yeah.
What do you guys thought? Let us know.
By the way, it would be the greatest moment in pro day history, although I think Johnny Manziel, with the former president, full pads, is probably always going to live in infamy. But the greatest moment would be if Travis Hunter gets up to the front of the line and then just spins around and covers Jimmy Horn.
I mean, that would be incredible.
I'm in. That'd be incredible. We're talking about it for a decade.
Yeah. Shoot, we're still talking about that.
I thought you were about to say
Manziel.
The greatest moment, Travis Hunter gets in line, then all of a sudden Coach Prime comes out
They
the
look
car.
like the same house. I know Sheduer is taller than both.
Yeah,
We know that. No T-step. Look at Travis. Feeling it today.
There's a fine line between creativity as a route runner and like maybe going
Travis
a little
just
bit
a kid,
overboard.
man.
Like I got
All of them are still kids.
That looks
Man.
awesome, but let's go
Travis,
ahead
he
and get
just
where you're
love
going.
football, so like that's it. There go what's in that old lady.
Oh, really? That's
Another
how?
thing that's interesting about this pro day guide.
What in the Marvin Sapp? Did you
This
see
is what we're
Marvin?
talking about.
You gotta go. Oh, Dre won.
Overboard, like I gotta get the ball out, man. Like that looks awesome, but let's go ahead and get where you're going.
There she go right
Oh
there.
yeah, and then there go Marvin.
Other thing that's interesting about this pro day, guys, is we're talking about who's represented there, what teams are there.
Yeah.
And we're talking about teams in Cleveland and the Giants picking 2 and 3, but we don't know who they're focused on during the portion of the
That's
season.
Yeah.
For all the guys,
There's
right?
Shiloh back there talking with Dad. And we talking about Shiloh as a part of this defensive back draft class as well. That's
what he looked different. I never seen his arms uncovered.
Oh, yeah,
Real nice job as well. You saw Will Shepard at the East-West games.
I've seen him with a t-shirt one time, but like
big body playmaker, guy that can go up and take it off the rim. You can just see how he expands the strike zone. And we always talk about building a basketball team. You can see the different styles of receivers that Colorado has.
Bro literally got This is no shade to Travis, but Travis literally got the locks right here. You know how people have it like kind of down some? He got it right there.
Which helped them have a
You
lot
cut
of
it off, man. And start reattaching with something, but I think he looks so good with his haircut.
He might be growing his hair out though. You
Look at
tell he
the
let
pass
it be out of
catchers here
that.
working for Sheduer. Again, getting down closer to the red zone here, just outside the 20.
I'm going for Will Shepherd too. I feel like Will, he'll be a good
Paint
addition
here,
too.
pretty good.
For our receiver.
From this area of the field, this is where we saw
Mine
Cam Ward
just took
spend a
1
ton
year
of
for
time
me to
in
get
his
this
program. Maybe too
opportunity.
much.
Just one decision.
Yeah, Western Will, right?
If there's
Well,
any,
Jimmy
what
been
if we
there
had
for
an
2
orchestrated
years.
play at the end, like
yeah.
Because it was Jimmy,
way to finish that one.
Travis, and
Another thing that's
Xavier
interesting about
Weaver the
this is
first
you
year.
can decide if you are those teams picking up there in the top 10. There's 2 questions. One is, do we love him?
Right.
So we love him. We're going to take him with our top 10 pick. The other question is,
Yeah,
well,
what
do
you
you
know
really
about
like him?
Rock?
Because if you really like him, now you become in that conversation.
saying
If he
Travis
starts
might
to
go
drift,
to,
we come
coming
back.
back in. Yes.
For
on
him.
the
So maybe we
Patriots.
don't take him with our first shot at it, but we really like him, and we'll be considering him on the backside of that.
Right. Rouse Giants could be in that discussion as well.
Yeah, there's a certain value
Oh, he did the bad.
Basil.
that you have for him where you would take him. You see him as a mid first round pick.
You
So
weren't
try
scared,
to-
my
Yeah.
boy.
He grabbed his heart. He was scared, right?
Nothing wrong with having a little fun there, a little behind the back. I don't know if you're going to want to pull that one out in an NFL game.
Oh gosh. We not dudes, so we don't see. We see stuff way different.
Not man, Kodak.
Sheduer.
Ooh.
Again, kind of moving off the spot, and then with an accurate ball over the middle.
You just don't know how. Well, I know you know, quite a few of them done picked up some weight, but like Shiloh arms is so big. Like, and when he was in the sleeves, it just don't look like he would have been that big.
One way or
I think he
another.
done got bigger.
Does
though.
anybody get up the top 3 picks, guys? Travis Hunter?
I think it'd be hard.
It's good. Depends on his teammate.
That's right. That's kind of an interesting juxtaposition here, right?
I think it's hard.
If Sheduer goes, let's say 2 or 3, Abdul Carter, one of the other picks, then, you know, does New England race up to the podium and get Travis Hunter at 4?
You know what's
Oh,
funny is I was
she's
thinking
still
of,
Yeah.
okay, you take somebody else and then
They
you just
would've
come
knew
back in
addition.
for him. You know, a great
That's
example
her.
of that.
That ain't
Was
her.
that her?
No.
Oh, that's the wife of one of them men. I seen her before on camera.
Was their first round pick at 25, 26. Then they come back up to 32 to take Lamar Jackson. So it has been up. By the way, when Lamar Jackson got picked, who interviewed him right after that happened? Prime.
That's interesting. That's interesting. That's when we first, you know, we heard him say
Let
he
me
had
use
Super Bowl
good.
already, and they're still
Oh yeah, he do be bringing his
You know,
DJ.
Unc be wildin', bro.
like getting close.
Yeah.
Yes, they're out.
That's when you know you got the power in the building, when you can just wave your hand and the music cuts.
For real.
There's nothing that hand doesn't control there in Boulder, that's for sure.
You know, Unc got an extension all the way up to
All right, looks like they're
2029.
gonna work like a 2-minute drill type of scenario here. Again, another area, Buck, where you turn on the tape,
Yeah, 10 minutes a
you
year.
see him excel in those type of scenarios.
10 million a
This
year.
Pro Day has been
Yeah,
more
yeah.
showcase. It's been all about showing.
I need
what
your
Sheduer
shoes,
does
bro.
really well. So
I feel like
much
his
of
shoes
it
heavy. I don't know. I don't like heavy
about the
shoes,
process
boy.
as well. We see how people process and manage the game in those 2-minute situations.
I don't never see them. in
Oh,
races
look at the
either.
brother.
It's a little reminder, a little tasty cake of what he's able to do when the game is on his shoulders.
He's got some sweet cleats on
That
too,
baby
but
boy always be the tallest one, bro. The little oldest, second.
Yeah, that's a picture. Y'all need to frame
Feel
that.
good, play good. Play good?
They pay good. Yeah.
All right, Baldy. Looks like we're going to see a little kind of situational football here in a showcase scenario.
Yeah. Well,
Girl, one thing
already
about
mentioned,
Dean, that's
some
what
of the
Dean be on his
comebacks that
knees
come back
with
against
Shiloh.
Baylor.
Shiloh
That
got braids
last
in
throw,
right
2
now. He
seconds to go
just
with Travis. I just
Oh,
want
but
to-
I know.
we've been doing it.
That's
I've
what
been
I'm saying.
saying, girl, I didn't even know them
He
old
said he
cooks have been on the
wants
reality
everybody
show.
to
The show big
like
as
what hits his
that.
hands.
Look
And
how
we didn't
he
want
did
that,
that
I just
forever.
want to have a release.
Stop.
You
What
wanna
reality
hear the
show?
sound.
Remember that area? Well, he ain't have them right then, but I think towards the end of his high school,
But he was
going to college.
imitating a 2-minute drill right here, just go up tempo. You know, it's a Big 12 offense, and so they want to.
We're gonna see it.
Game right here. So you'll see Sheduer probably calling the plays right at the line of scrimmage. Just got his guys, so all his receivers huddled up right now, and they're going to break this huddle and take this ball down and score just like you would on any given
Colorado.
through.
They
Like,
got
a 2-minute touchdown and the ball not hitting the ground. I'm sure that's part of what they talk about with their forward wide receiver look right here.
Baldy, you're going to have to go back to your source on that because I was told it was the reason he doesn't wear gloves. He was a big Mark Grace fan. Apparently, is that not accurate?
Well, DJ, it just came right out of his mouth with a smile. Like he was just, so that's my source.
Sources say. All right. Here we go. First completion in the books.
Pump fake. I'll tell you what, that catch right there, you see a lot from Travis Hunter. Balls that are outside his frame behind him that he makes look easy. That touchdown against North Dakota State was stupid.
I still don't know how he caught it. Yeah.
That was crazy.
It's like his hands get through the defender.
That's a nice throw.
Yeah, 3 for 3 here on the 2-minute.
And this is why obviously they cut the music so they can communicate the calls.
I love it. I like this.
26 seconds left here, guys. 26 seconds here, right? So they're looking at the clock.
Got to pick up some yards.
Ball's inbound, first down. All right. Spotted. Ball's ticking. 20 seconds. 19, 18. All right. He's taking a shot to the end zone right here. They're clearing the end zone of media people right now.
Get out of the end zone, Paul.
We run out of time.
And kill it.
All right.
We run out of time.
6 seconds left here.
Control.
You're going to go out there and kick this thing, Baldy? How much we got?
Baldy, we're kicking it?
That was it. What the world? We wanted an end zone touchdown.
Right. I think want to be trying to do safe stuff at the end.
Talking about the defense out there on the field in Boulder being very similar to a Big 12 defense.
Yeah.
They're running the cover 4. No big outside of the pocket, razzle dazzle, circus throw. We really done here? We got another one.
I know, right? We really done.
That's what we're doing. So for all the
like
pizzazz, all the
I'm
flash
in
and
no
dash,
hands.
we got a very blue collar,
Workmanlike?
very workmanlike showcase.
Please.
What time's this workout start?
Y'all, we just want to sit in and see. Y'all, we wanted to go come on camera and show that we still support our boys. Shout out to Colorado and the showcase Sheduer and Travis. Obviously the other wide receivers is, you know, LaJohntay, Jimmy, Will, and then you had Draylon Miller. Shout out to all of them, y'all. They did a good job.
Yeah.
And we're just excited for the next step in their career. We're hoping and rooting for that they all be successful in the next level.
Right.
So yeah, with that being said,
With that being said, y'all like, comment, subscribe to this video. Please share if you would like it. If this is the first time we coming across your screen, hit the notice so you can get it. And with that being said, y'all,
Rado.